mathematicians and think shady about
I don't think I can ever do that though.
I know.
I know. I wish I have that type of personality. I get a lot more views if I have that personality. But I don't have a personality like
You could do it.
very energizing.
If you do that, it's a joke. I'm sure. But is the practice problem first?
Yeah. So the practice problem first for the shell method. So y equal to 0. So I have this question and it's rotating around x equal to 4.
Oh, that also good sucks.
And the reason why this question is not allowed to use, you cannot use disk and washer. There's one reason why. Hopefully you can find out why you cannot use disk and washer here. And you gotta know what a graph look like too. No, that's for now actually.
Oh. Okay.
If you don't know how to graph it, that's gonna be a bigger problem.
By the power of my graphing calculator.
No, without graphing
No,
calculator.
I know. I should be plugging in a lot of numbers.
No, don't do that. Finding x-intercept help though. And because they block out by y equal to 0, you should be able to analyze the graph what they look like.
Y equals what? X times 2 minus x. So what? Y x-intercept at x equals 2 and x equals 0.
Yep.
Oh no. You always know you have to worry if there's 2 or more x-intercepts. And it's not just x squared.
You talking to Trevor and Trevor's like not responding to
Yeah, I know.
Trevor is a man of few words. He will never respond to you anything more than necessary. You forgot Trevor is not Andrew Green.
That's why it's so quiet.
Yeah.
Andrew just spontaneous talking.
No, it's not. Okay. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Let's go. Thank you. It took me a while. 6 minus 9 is negative.
I told you about my son. They say psi, right?
They say what?
They say psi.
Yes,
The guy playing Gangnam Style?
No, psi. Like
Psi.
you know how. And he just say it out loud. He just like psi.
Oh. My brother used to do that.
And he said something like gasp.
No.
That's
It's gas.
better than slap.
Yeah, seriously. Size works. Size works better.
Gas.
What does gasp even mean?
It's like when you like.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like exclamation of surprise.
It's like ice cream. I love it. Okay.
Imagine I start saying slay.
Oh my god, please don't wish it.
I'll be that Maria.
Don't be like Maria.
What do you mean? I'm so
Slay.
Not when you say slay.
so disrespectful.
Another thing.
As you should.
Yeah. I meant it, like seriously.
Damn. Three.
Remember, it's cut off by y equal to 0, so you don't have to know the whole graph. You just need to know one little
Cut off
part.
at y equals 0.
Yeah, it says y equal to 0.
What is y?
Oh my gosh! Oh!
That's crazy. Okay, so we should make that.
Somebody even say that's wacky. Oh! X equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 9 is negative 3.
I think like Katie has that quality. Maria has that quality. A sim is also another one. Sim is very impressive. I think recently he's been on top of his game. And Harmon also changed a lot too.
Mr. Ye, I'm getting a parabola when I'm graphing this.
You're supposed to get a problem.
Wait,
It's an x squared.
Yeah, but it's also x.
Yeah,
That doesn't
so
do anything?
no, it doesn't do
Oh my
anything.
gosh.
The leading coefficient decides.
Oh man, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
How do you know the x-intercept? Do you know your boundaries?
Haha,
You know back.
it's a semicircle, so it says the untreed eye.
So if you set this equation equal to this equation, so it'd be 2x minus x squared equal to 0. If we factor out x, it'd be 2 minus x equal to 0. So we know x-intercept is right here. At x equal to 0 and x equal to 2. Now, since the negative x squared is a parabola, so it's probably something like this. I don't really care about how the graph is. I might not be correct, but that's okay. But I know my vertex is probably right in between. So my vertex is kind of off a little bit, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So it's rotating around. So this thing here is rotating around like x equal to 4. So it's right here. So it's gonna rotate like this. It's gonna form like almost like a half of the donuts. Like, you know. So it's like a donut's being cut to half. Like a bagel.
Like bagel, yeah.
Bagel cut it to half, like a bagel cutter, like cut it to half.
Bagel pretty.
So that's that. So we're gonna find the value of that. Remember, we don't use disk. We don't use disk and washer is because why is it impossible though?
Because
It is impossible, but why?
I don't know, vertical doesn't do the vertical line test, so it's
That's not well.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of reason why, but it's not why. So if you have this rotating around there, you can't really do like this, right? Like a disk or washer, because and they're gonna be the same function first of all, because top function and bias bottom function, they are the same function. Not only that they are the same function, is you can't really solve for x equal to this function. So it's not possible for you to do it. So it's not possible for you to do disk and washer. This question is only shell method.
would it have worked if you did like if you split it along x equals 1?
What?
Would it work if you had split it along x equals 1? And you did like 1 minus 1 plus.
Yeah, but that would be a very messy situation. But it's not possible. That's just one way to cut, right? If you cut it to half. However, it's not possible for you to solve for y. I'm solving for x, because you can get x equal to that, so you can't really get that function.
Okay.
So that's a bigger problem than what you propose. What you propose, you can actually solve a lot of problem that you feel can solve x equal to. But in this case, you cannot, so you have to go with a shell method, which is hopefully today, if I give you a competition question, you should know how to do shell method, right? Oh, you're not going to be here today.
Yeah.
You say something happened. Okay. Oh yeah, Maria, you should come. I know. After your band season.
I
Huh?
don't have a football game today.
Yeah.
So technically, I was gonna.
I mean, if you want to be a math nerd.
I might go because I need to see if I can stay.
Okay. Bye. Yeah.
What's the trig thing? You know what I'm talking about? The Pythagorean. No. You know what I'm saying? Like so like. What's tan equal secant?
I don't know. I cannot tell.
I thought you were doing a test.
You can actually prove it yourself, though. I show you guys how to prove beginning of year.
Yeah, I forgot.
Why didn't you
So it's supposed to be in like an attendance format.
Would you like me to simplify?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
But you're also gonna get partial credit if you didn't simplify. I mean, yeah, I'm not an unfair person.
Okay. How does it show up work again? Like 2 pi r? We have R. Okay, so we're gonna put it in terms of X now, right?
Yeah, so the slicing is gonna be like this. So this is a dx, right? It's rotating around this rotation. So this is the axis rotation. So it's rotating around that. So it's gonna form a shell
Oh, I
of
thought
a hollow cylinder.
rotating around X equals 4.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. It's x equal to 4, so it's rotating around here. Good catch. Thank you. So that is rotating around there. It's cut off between this graph and this graph here, and it's rotating around there. So it's gonna form a like a half of each slice, each height is gonna rotate around that. So this will be integration between which two things? 0 and 2. What need to be in the front if I use shell method? 2 pi, good. So that's going to be shell, right? Now, remember is 2 pi RH, right? Because you got it R. So what is R in this case?
This equation in terms of Y, or in terms of X?
No.
What is it
No,
called?
R is the. See, I don't know if it's right, but I think it's not as X because it's like the distance minus
Oh, distance from the axis.
X minus 4. 4 minus X 4.
So which one is it?
Um,
If you were to go by one, what do you think is?
X minus 4. What's the other one right? It was 4 minus X.
What do you think? So let's just say this is a half, right? Let's just say if I have a dx a half here, right? So in order to get from here to here, I do what?
4 minus 1 half. So it's 4 minus X.
There you go. Now you're thinking. 4 minus x. Times the height's given by the function to be 2x minus x squared in the dx.
Can you explain why it's
Okay, Maria, can you explain to Xavier why it's 4 minus x? Go up there and explain to him.
Well,
Right.
that right there is 4. 2 to 4. That's like the thing.
Axis rotation, yeah.
This is X. We're just gonna call it a function X.
Oh, why did you say 4? Like to the top of that?
Because we're looking at it like that.
Yeah.
So it's 4 this way,
Okay. Yeah.
and then you're subtracting X.
Okay.
So that you can get like this.
So you can get like slices.
Yeah.
So the x is from here to here, right?
Oh, that's like.
But you want it from here to here. But the whole, you can do whole thing, take away this part.
So that wouldn't be height.
The height is the other way.
So we're doing the equations relative to X equals 4, but we're doing R and H relative to like regular.
Just x in terms of x.
Okay, thank you.
So r is distance from here to here. Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
But I cannot get there. I have to do 4, take away the small part because that's an x. So 4 minus x is a good thing. And the height is going to be 2x minus x squared. Now, the simplify of this, I'm just going to let you simplify. I think the answer is 8 pi if you did it right. But I'm not worried about simplification. I'm worried about if you know how to set up. Most of people set up is they doubt is x. X times 2x minus x squared from last period, from third period.
Students should now be A1.
And they doubt it was x times 2x minus x squared, but it's actually 4 minus x because it's like alpha axis rotation. In order to find the distance, this is radius. So radius has to be 4 minus the x in order to get radius here. Does that make sense? Xavier still looks like a kind of puzzle.
Okay.
Do you understand it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
But it's okay. Yes, it makes sense to me, but what doesn't make sense is why we're doing R and H in terms of X, but we're still doing the equations in terms of Y. Does that make sense?
We're doing in terms of x is because we have it, this slicing is rotating. It's rotating, so this slicing is dx. So we had to do it in terms of x, not in terms of y.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
So yeah, for shell method, the rotation is a parallel to the axis rotation. disk and washer is a perpendicular.
Okay, so if we were to rotate this around y equals 0, we would still have the radius.
If it's y equal to 0, then just right now y equal to 0. Y equal to 0 is this way, right?
Yeah, just that.
So that's just a disk method. It's just gonna be 2x minus
If
x
we wanted
squared.
to do shell method.
You can't do shell method that way because it has to be parallel. The axis rotation and dice, it has to be parallel in order to do shell because the shell is forming like this. This is axis rotation. So it's coming from like this. So it has to be parallel. But the disk is different. So if this one's disk is rotating this way, then it's gonna form a disk right there. So it's a perpendicular to the axis rotations.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if that confuse you more, but I think Will can do a much better job. Maybe let Will explain to you. He's got very good sense of explaining. But oh, you're not gonna be here today.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, does that make sense for this shell method?
Yes.
So shell method is a little bit more difficult. And for talk about arc length, I'm not gonna pretend that I know how the proof of arc length is because again, BC is not my strong suit. I'm not gonna be very direct in front. This is the second year I teach BC, so you usually need a 3 year to master at teaching on something. So I'm still a novice. So I don't know the proof of arc length. But I know it's coming from distance formulas, and I know it's coming from summations. Eventually, you work it out, you're gonna get the arc length equation. But here, I'm just gonna give you the arc length equation because I don't know how to actually prove it, and I'm not strong enough to prove it to you, so I don't want to show you something I don't know how to do. But here's this. So supposedly, it's by this guy named Christian Huygens at 1629, 1695. It's really similar to Newton's time. They're able to figure out the arc length, which is s. Arc length?
Oh, S equals pi r?
No.
Oh, sorry, I meant theta r.
Is equal to integration between a to b, the square root 1 plus f prime of x square dx. That's if the function is y equal to f of x. So this is y equal to f of x. Now in terms of if it's x equal to fy, then s equal to arc length is equal to integration. We're going to call it c to d just because different orientation. And square root of 1 plus g prime of y square dx. Oh, dy, sorry, my bad. dy. So you just had to apply this formula. You should be able to find the arc length. Now, what's interesting about this is arc length is 100% will be on IP exam. It should be a very easy question. But the problem is people don't remember the formulas. And usually it's asked on the non-calculated section. So you can't even store the calculator. You can't even store the formula in the calculator. I mean, you can store if you're lucky enough it's being multiple choice with calculator. But unfortunately, this is the one thing I would say is you have to memorize it. But if you use a couple more times, you'll memorize it. First of all, people always forget is this one's plus, and this one's f prime of x squared, and the square root outside. Now, if I want to find an arc length, so I'm going to give you one question and see if you guys know how to find the arc length.
What do you mean by arc length? Like, what's arc length?
So I'm going to show you.
Oh.
So if I were to graph y equal to natural log of cosine of x, so I'm going to show you what a graph is. So y equal to natural log cosine of x. It's like this, and I want to find the arc length between 0 to pi over 4. So I'm gonna put a restriction. I'm say I want to find the length between 0 less equal to x and less than pi over 4. Where's pi over 4?
Yeah, you can also type in pi if you want.
Oh yeah. So if I want to find out how length of this, obviously it's not a straight line, so you can't really use maybe like a distance formula. But the problem is curvy line, right? So the only way is using, but we have the functions. Now your job to find the arc length between 0 to pi over 4. So is it possible for you to do that? We already know the formula. You just had to figure out.
When would we have to figure this out in terms of x? Like x equals f of y.
No, it just y equal to natural log cosine of x is fine. Okay, let's see if you guys can figure out before I show you the answer. They're not that hard, but the problem is you do know how to do something, especially one of the integral you usually tend to forget.
Oh, hold on.
Usually I'll take a derivative of the function first.
U prime over u for 11, right?
Yeah.
And off cosine of x, or is it ln x minus cosine of x?
What?
ln of cosine of x.
Oh, no, cosine of x.
Oh, this concept was on the test.
Huh?
This concept was on the test.
Oh, sorry.
I was hoping nobody will say. Your final answer should get this. If you did it right.
Oh,
You know where you did wrong.
Yep.
Cool.
oh, I was going too far.
Sorry, I was like probably contagious. Yawning is contagious.
Over.
Did you guys get an answer? No? The answer is posted on the board.
Doing the work for it.
Sure.
Those tables working now?
Supposedly. Look, you have 28 minutes left. Just kidding. That'll be funny.
Hey, I got an email. Oh, no.
From UCF.
No. Universal Orlando Resort.
You've been accepted to Universal Orlando Resort.
I'll be there.
Oh,
You're gonna get a job?
Yeah, so we're working with Lago.
a lot of people are getting jobs at Universal.
Where are you gonna work as?
Wherever they want me. I just can't really lift anything heavy.
Okay, let's see the find the arc length. So I'm gonna take a dy dx usually because that's just the thing I would do because I need to find an f prime x. So that's gonna be what? Derivative of u prime over u.
So negative sine x over cosine.
So negative sine x over cosine of x.
Yep. Which
So
is-
that's equal to negative what? Tan of x. Good. So then is integration is between 0 to pi over 4, and that's square root of 1 plus
squared of x.
negative 10 of x squared. So regardless of negative sign, doesn't matter. So pi over 4 square root of 1 plus 10 squared of x. Of course, that's equal to
Square root of secant squared.
and that's equal to between 0 to pi over 4 to this.
Yeah.
Integration of this, you supposed to know.
Times 10 over 10. Oh, it's just something you have to memorize?
We did teach you how to prove it before.
Okay.
And if you don't know how to prove it, flip that board. I think I've seen prove it over there. So it's equal to natural log of secant of pi over 4 plus tangent of pi over 4 and minus ln of secant of 0 plus tan of 0, which is natural log of square root 2 plus 1 minus natural log of 1 plus 0. So it'll be natural log of square root of 2 plus 1 because natural log of 1 is equal to 0. So that would be 0.881. Will this both answer acceptable? Without calculator, that's the answer. By the way, the question you asked is right here.
My question.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Oh, I did it right. Sir.
Oh, you remembered that?
Huh?
Do you remember that formula?
Yeah, because it's 1 plus tan squared of x equals secant squared of x. Oh, I'm sorry. What, 40 to 50?
Could you scroll up a little? Well, actually,
Zach, prove him wrong.
I'm gonna try.
Get the highest
If you
score.
can even get there. You know what I mean?
Zach,
Do you remember how to do FTC
Zach,
now?
don't take that. Don't
No.
take that. You gotta do better than that.
He can't. He's just not smart enough. I will at one point.
Zach, no, you don't take that. You're gonna kick his ass.
Only one test. I'm just gonna. Oh, look at calculus.
Yeah, you don't take that.
I'm gonna look like a calculus genius. I'm a calculus genius.
Okay, Will
Smarter.
Robinson. Okay, so this is the work of how to find an arc length. So but usually I just find dy dx and I just insert it in square. Now, unfortunately, this question, this is the thing you had to memorize. I will not ask you to memorize too many things. However, let me take that back. In BC exam, you do have to memorize a few things. So it's one of the things not like AB. I think AB you don't have to memorize as much thing. BC, especially when we do a sequence and series, you do have to memorize some of the series, especially a lot of like ratio tests, integral tests, stuff like that. And you do need to memorize the application of it. But right now, this is one thing that it should be a 3 point if it's on AP exam. If not 3 point, you gotta make it as a 3 points. All right, that's it.